I'm Jay, and I make videos about Chinese traditional characters in Loma Pinyin, that's the romanization system, and I go in alphabetical order. The series is called What a Character.
What a character.
If you don't review, they will be erased from your memory. So let's take a look at these 24 characters which start with the letter A in Pinyin romanization, or you can look at these cool cars. Ah, on the left is an exclamatory particle. What a tiana! Oh my God. And on the right, is a prefix for names. I am Ajay. The next ones are all first tone I. From the left, I means grief or mourning. The next one shows surprise. Aya, ayo. The one in the middle with the mouth radical is also an interjection, meaning alas. The earth radical to the left means fine dust and is used in transliteration. For example, for Egypt, IG. The one with the hand radical means to suffer from or be next to. Those last three share this component, E, which from classical Chinese is an aspect marker of completed action, kind of like le. Again, this is not used in modern Chinese, but it's a component. Thank you, wife. We can break it down even more. This is from the Pleco Dictionary. Here are all those first tone I, again to review. In my I video, I described this as an Orthodox Jewish man with a hat. This one's surprise with a mixture of regret. The strokes that look like plus signs are tightly closed eyes. Similar to that last one in meaning is I, alas, I sheng tan qi, to sigh in despair. I, 我买不起. I, with the earth radical, is fine dust. Fun fact, it's also the character used in angstrom, that tiny, tiny unit of measurement. With the hand radical, it's to be next to or suffer from, as in I ma, to be scolded by someone. You might just be working on recognition, but it's generally top to bottom, left to right if you're writing. Second tone I is Cancer. There's the sick radical enveloping it, 3 mouth radicals over a mountain. Here's third tone I, which means short. Note the female radical. And then love, noting the heart radical, followed by I, as in Zhang-ai or obstacle, and the character for Chinese mugwort. Again, those latter three are fourth tone I. I think we need to throw it in reverse and rewind to this one, I, as an obstacle, Zhang-ai. You can get the stroke order from dictionary.writtenchinese.com. Pro tip, go into your Pleco app and set the preferred language to traditional characters for Mandarin. That way you can see the breakdown of traditional characters. We have the stone on the left and E on the right. To doubt or to question. And that is comprised of spoon and private. Radicals on top and shi, arrow, along with P, rolls of cloth on the bottom. Let's put that back together and look at it one more time. I wouldn't mind driving around some obstacles in that beast. Here are an, safety, and adding the hand radical, it means to press. That was an, fourth tone, and so are these. We have an as in anza, which means a case, hai an, coast an, and an meaning dark, has 2 suns on it, and the component li, which means to stand, an shi, hint or suggestion, also meaning dark. This one is also an, which features the same right side component and sound. On the left, the character for black, hey, which I think looks like a funny alien creature. Here's what a native speaker said about the two an differences. Ang usually only goes with ang zang or dirty in a figurative or literal sense. The component gu or bone plus to, head, plus small table, G equals ang. And yes, that's a wall of bones. My aunt took that picture somewhere in Portugal in a church. Ang, lift, raise, high, or soaring. It features a sun radical on the top and what looks to be wings, carrying something up high. First tone, ow, means indented. It looks exactly what it is. The second one, ow, second tone, means to cook. For example, into a porridge. And the right one is ow, third tone. That's a Chinese padded jacket. And its base form, ow, fourth tone, can be seen in the transliteration for Austria and Olympics. It also means hard to understand. For the middle character, we're adding the water radical. It's used in the term for Australia and also Auman, which is Macau, part of China now. The last ow is proud in a positive or negative sense. Note the person radical plus 11 more strokes. It's the same as the boil character without the fire, but adding the ren or person radical. It contains the soldier, scholar, or person skilled in an area, all of whom might be proud. The radical is pronounced shi, and not to be confused with the tu or dirt radical. Here is the proud owl again. Use your imagination. You can see people walking off to the right, proudly. We have a clear day because the typhoon is coming. We are where the arrow is on that map. Sure, over there is Jade Mountain, where those two little bumps are in the middle of my screen. Right, Jesse? Yep. There's several peaks to Jade.
Well, the highest one is with the two bumps, right?
I need to get my Peak Finder app and check it. There are 4 separate peaks of Jade Mountain seen on this map. They look like bats.
The butterflies love these flowers. I have some in my backyard.
Temple sticking out there. Beautiful one. Review of all of the characters that start with B in Pinyin. So B something, and there's a lot of them. Ooh. But first, I think you should get some paper and pencil or pen, or just air draw it like this. This ba or this ba. Air drawing. We should do a review of the radicals that you're gonna see throughout the video. Hey buddy.
Yeah.
Do you know any radicals?
Donald Trump.
Trump. Radicals, buso, are the components of characters. We're not talking politically radical.
Comic relief.
That was funny.
I hope you won't lose any
Subbies?
subscribers.
Yeah.
For my anti-Trump sentiments. They don't know by now.
Yeah.
It's too late.
Yeah, I probably let on here and there that I lean a little bit more left. I'm fiscally conservative, though.
By that you mean you're a cheap guy, right?
Yeah. So, radicals. Coal. That's a mouth radical.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What else we got?
Is the water? Isn't water a radical?
Water radical. Look like drips of water flying off the character. Ren. Person radical.
Okay.
Dren. The character Dren looks like this. And when it's a component radical, it kind of gets squished together or inverted. Look, there's even a game show about characters. You have to take radicals and components and put them together and make words. Just like we're doing on my channel. And in this game, they're trying to figure out 4 character expressions. And my wife is sitting over there doing it too.
This one will be 天造地设.
What does that mean?
That means a very good couple.
Oh, here's the answers.
对. The bottom part, 想方设法 means you really try very hard to think of every possibility to solve some problems. 想方设法. It gives you parts of the character, and then they also give you parts of the
Changhua.
phrases, right?
The 214 radicals are your window to meaning or sound. For our review of characters that start with B in Pinyin. Radicals that usually will go to the left of a character combination. First one is hand, and you've seen this many times if you've watched my videos. You're going to see it a lot again. There's the hand radical, and it's a clue to the meaning. Push Shui, pool, la. And there's Wang, which is king, royal. Mu, kind of looks like a tree. There's my buddy Jimmy on the right with one of the biggest trees in Taiwan. We have two characters which look really similar as radicals. One is Yue and one is Rou. The middle two strokes are just slightly different. Here's a Reddit post about that. The radical for clothing. I'm sitting here in the dark. 4,000 households in the Changhua County lost power, and we were one of them. Luckily, our community has a generator, so at least I can open the garage door downstairs and take the car out. These little fans are great. The last page that I saw before I lost my Wi-Fi was 国水大师 .net. You can check out the radicals and what they used to look like in the ancient script. The silk radical, the gold radical, and the speech radical. And also, Gene, I think the heart radical would be helpful too. Tool, you need to know tool. Earth, dirt. It looks like one of those Christian crosses stuck in the ground like a tombstone. Again, those go to the side, usually on the left. And then we have three radicals, which are kind of like enclosure radicals. And one is the radical that denotes sickness. Here is mun, meaning gates, and they kind of do look like gates. And then there's usually some kind of component between the gates. And the long step. Lastly, we have a couple radicals which go on top of components. And one is the grass radical, and the other one is the bamboo radical. You're usually writing these first, and then another component, or even several components to write an entire character. I really could go on forever. There's 214 radicals. We just covered close to 20 of them. Again, use a paper and pen to write the characters as I talk about them. Top to bottom, left to right, generally. The first video that I did with B sounds in Pinyin was B-A-Ba. The character 8 can be combined with a radical to make the character for horn, as in la ba. You can also use it as a verb to beep at somebody. 如果前面的车子不动，我会扒它。
可是这样可能会被打。
Speaking of cars, the background in all the pictures of the characters today in this video are going to be vehicles. They're not there to distract you. If you have a passion about cars, you will know the make, model, and sometimes even the year of the cars. If you like movies, you're gonna know the movie stars. You can memorize thousands. The same is true for the characters. You gotta have a passion for these characters and they'll stick. Now, I'll give you another component, and your job is to try to add radicals to it to come up with as many new characters as you can. Another ba is written like this. Examples are 下巴, 嘴巴, 尾巴, 巴士. Maybe you want to pause the video, think about as many additions that you can make from that base component. Check your work. 疤痕 scar. 一把扇子，一把茶壶。Ba or baba, fourth tone. This one is for bala, guava, or baleu, ballet, and nothing whatsoever to do with Harley Davidson. Let me show them again on the screen and try to just remember the meaning. I like to anthropomorphize characters. I see them as people, and maybe you do too. For this second tone, ba, I see the hand radical to the left and a man kind of in a punching stance, like sweat flying off of his brow, or maybe blood, because he has been impaled by some sharp object and he needs to pull it out of his leg, which is here. That's how we can remember ba, as in baya. like to pull out a tooth. View of ba, fourth tone, pretty hard character with lots of strokes. We got the rain radical on top and leather or hide to the left. To the right of that, yue, and it means to dominate. Ba ling is a loan word for bullying. Rain, leather, month. We don't like bullies, right? So we would like to stick them out in the rain. Imagine one wearing a leather jacket and we're sticking him outside for a month. Then we can add another radical to get to another fourth tone, ba, which means a dam or a dike or an embankment, putting the earth radical to the left. We also had this 15-stroke character. You kind of have what I see as like eyes, and then nung underneath it. Nung is private over month radicals, or ro, meat, in traditional. Next to 2 Chinese spoon radicals. Here is ba one more time, to cease or to finish. For the simplified, it's taking out the nung and replacing it with chu or go. Ba gong, go on strike. This ties in really well with our next character series that we went over, which was bye, 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 bye. Take that character, which is fourth tone ba, adding a hand radical to the left, we get bye, third tone. If you're new to the channel, the way I like to do things is I like to sprinkle my new characters into the adventures that I have in Taiwan. Some people want to get right to those characters, but I like to spread them out a little bit. I hope you like to watch. An example of that is my video on bye, 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 bye at the Wufeng Lin Family Park, which includes several buildings. In that video, I introduced only 5 characters. Can you right now write white, bye, second tone, and then putting a 1 over top, ibaida, bye, means 100. This fourth tone bye might look like 2 hands in prayer, and bye bye is to worship. Lines in your knuckles, lines in the side of the character. And for the last one, let's try something new. We have shellfish to the left. What goes on the right if you want to make bye, as in shi bai, to fail? 3, 2, 1. That's the radical pu, which means to rap or to tap. It's radical number 66 Kangxi radicals. To remember the meaning, you might think of tapping on the shell, and nothing comes out, thus failing. The theme of my video, ban, 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 was the origins of our English language school here in Taiwan. I believe there were about 8 characters in that video. Let's test your knowledge. Please write any ban, 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 ban that you can think of. Pause the video. There's a ban right there. On July 6th, we found out that the 7th we had off. Ting ban ting ke means no office work, no classes due to a typhoon. All right, I'll put them up on the screen and see if you know the meaning. Because I realize that you guys are coming here from different levels. You might be just starting out, just trying to get some exposure. Others have been speaking Chinese for a while, and now you want to start to get down more of these characters so you understand what you're looking at on the streets. Do you recognize any of these? If you keep practicing and watching my videos, little by little, it's gonna come. Left to right, class or work shift. I described it as a kid going down a sliding board between 2 buildings. Swapping the middle out for 1 or literature. Ban, which means spotted, specked, or striped, as in ban ma, zebra. The third one is sort or kind, as in iban lai shuo, which means generally. And then for the fourth one, if you put the hand radical in front of it, it means to move things. The 2 characters on the right share the fun or part component. Here they are by themselves on an Aston Martin. This is da ban de ban, to dress up. With the page or leaf component, it becomes ban, first tone, as to send out or proclaim, to issue, as in banjiang. Award. There's dad putting the surfboard in the barracuda. Ban is board, third tone. Whiteboard, blackboard, all kinds of boards. And the right side, ban, is addition. I recently ventured to the Taichung Art Museum. There was an exhibit by this wonderful artist, worked in all kinds of mediums or media, including mu ban, that's wood block, and I have lots of examples. Tu ban, ao ban. Fourth tone ban is half. It's exactly equal on both sides. Add the person radical to get companion. This ban is to handle business, as in 办公室 or office. Note the li or power radical in the middle. And the next one is ban for petal, of a flower, as in 花瓣. I introduced more characters in the bang 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 video, and I tested Taiwanese colleagues to see how many bang they could write. And we also used AI to come up with a sentence including all of those characters. Test yourself here on any of the bang 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 bang. Here they are. Do you recognize any of them? Bang, country or nation, comes from the components feng, abundant, and fu, which means area. Add the silk radical to the left and you get bang, third tone, to tie up. There's Big Red, my 7-seater Durango, with the character bang or help. We got two earth radicals stacked on top of each other next to tun, which means inch, over top of bai, white, and towel, jean. For our memory aid, let's think of a little man standing on the ground. He's only an inch tall and he's wearing a white scarf saying, help! The next 5 characters share the same component, pang, which means side. Bang, first tone with the ren or person radical is approaching. Third tone, bang, has the tree radical, and it's a list of names that are posted up, for example, when they pass an exam or achieve a rank. Also third tone, bang, with the meat radical in traditional is shoulder or wing. With the stone radical is pound for weight, and with the gold radical, it's British pound. Ing bang. Speaking of Brits, these guys went to a baseball game while I was working. Bang Joe, baseball. The bat is made of wood. We have 3 outfielders. Let's say a ball hits the back wall. The outfielder gets it and throws it to the cutoff man, either on that side or this side, if you've played baseball. There is second baseman and shortstop here. There is the third baseman and the first baseman here. That's a line drive down the center. Bang can also be used to express great, awesome, excellent. There were 10 or so characters in the bao 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 where video. I used post-it notes to put the radicals together with components. Write some bao now. No, this is not a gravesite. They are planting trees. At least 16 trees. 你看他们都包起来了。Then they will put them in here. Bao, package or wrap, actually looks like wrapping a box and is the component for the next few characters. Depending upon whether you're using simplified or traditional, the month or meat radical with bao means placenta or children from the same parents. Shuang bao tai are twins. The next one is often used in the expression 吃饱了, to be full. I have a pretty special way to remember the food radicals, so check my video on that one. That was third tone bao. Fourth tone, bao, means to hug, also used in 抱歉 or sorry. With the fish radical, it's bao, as in 鲍鱼, abalone. We are on an island. Bao, third tone, is to protect or maintain. It has the ren person radical. Kou, or mouth, over mu, a tree radical. Just getting up to the B's in the alphabet of Pinyin characters, you can start to make inferences. So this sign, Environmental Protection Bureau, if you don't know Huanjing, but you know Bao, Baohu Ju, this Bao, to protect, can give you a clue. If your spoken is better than your written, you can kind of guess what it is. Put the earth radical underneath, you still have third tone Bao, which means a fortress or castle. Bao. This one's fourth tone Bao for panther or leopard. See what I did there? A roof over a king and his money is third tone Bao, treasure. This character is fourth tone Bao, as in Baozhi, newspaper. It means to report, and that's my mom in the middle. She got in the newspaper a couple times for her acting, and there's a Dodge Challenger. See the Bao 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 video on how I remember this character. I also have a special way of remembering these two Bao, which are cruel and explosion, respectively. Here's a hint. The video Bei in various tones was an interspersing of characters during the Mazu pilgrimage, which goes through our city of Changhua. And this year I did another leg of the journey. It'll take me a few years, but I'm going to try piece together Taichung to Jiayi. Pause the reel right here and see how many of these out of 11 that you get, and we'll go over them. A mu and a bu radicals make the word for cup. Would, no. Also, first tone bei is white with a slash through it and then a cross underneath it. That's lowly or inferior. Baby means mean. Add a stone radical, get a stone tablet. Finally, what looked like ribs with a heart sunken beneath it is sadness or sorrow. What I was calling ribs are not really ribs. That's fei, which means no or negative. Our next set, we have bei, third tone, north. If you notice, the parallel lines are pointing north-south. Beijing. The next one is shellfish. It's a common radical, also seen as money. If you put north over row or meat, that's your back. Those two and the next ones are all fourth tone, bei. The clothing and skin components become a padded quilt cover. This bei also makes the passive voice. Person with stand over mouth means double. Also with the person radical is to prepare, as in 准备. You can see yong at the bottom of those components. Yong is use, and we usually use what we prepare, right? And for the last one, bei is rank, generation, or lifetime. There are those ribs again, with che or car beneath it. 辈子, lifetime. Fun video. You know what to do. There's a sign. Can you see the character? Here's a first tone, a third tone, and a fourth tone. Bun is used in expressions to run, to flee, to hurry. Third tone bun is the one we use for Japan, 日本. It means original. I think I taught this by saying it's a tree with a sign on it saying this is the original tree. Bamboo on the top of that means stupid. Bun. I also slipped in bung on that one. I'll give you a few seconds to pause the video, check out these characters, or look at my grandmother with the VW bug. Beng on the left features a mountain on the top of 2 months, or yue, also moons. They could be seen as towers or buildings being crushed by the weight of the mountain. Collapse is the meaning. It's still first tone if you add the silk radical, and it means stretched tight as if under weight. With the foot or 足 radical in front, it becomes leap and turns to fourth tone. Beng beng tiao tiao, hop around. That was followed by a two-parter on B, 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 B. There were a lot of them. Try your luck. Here's the explanation. A person taking a long step into one over mouth over field is force. First tone, also used in expressions to come close to. The next one, bi, is nose. Again, you see the field radical. If something from the field was sitting on a table for too long, it might smell and waft up to your nose. That simple four-stroke character, bi, means to compare, also used in competition. The fourth one from the left means that, or the other side. It's made up of qi, which means to step with the left foot, and pi, skin. Bi zi means each other. The next one is bi, a pen or pencil. I see 5 writing implements laid horizontally and 1 vertically. That one under Guitar Villa logo is B, its 4th tone. Must or necessary. And it's a heart with a slash through it. And imagine that you must do something or you will get stabbed. Another 4th tone, B, as in biye, means to graduate. B means to complete. Imagine a field, and then there's shelves, and the field hands tools that they would need for the field hanging up on those shelves, completing their work in the field. The next one should be easy to visualize. It is somebody walking up to gates and closing them. The meaning for this B is to close. The second from the last character is using the component B, not this B. This B means broken. We're going to see this component a lot. Again, if you have Jin underneath it, it becomes B, as in all sorts of different currency, like Thai B, New Taiwan dollars. This B is defined as greenish blue, featuring Wang or king and Bai, white, over stone. It's important to note that Wang and Bai can be surnames. So my wife, when she was a kid, learned it in an interesting way. Mr. Wang and Mrs. White sitting on top of a stone.
王先生、白小姐一起坐在石头上。
Like that last one, the next 7 characters are all 4th tone B. The first one is fraud, abuse, or harm. It features B, which means broken, over gong, which means 2 enjoined hands. That broken B component, again with grass radical on the top, means to conceal or cover. Broken B one more time with the death radical is always in terms that deal with dying in a particular way. Example, dao bi, fall down and die. If you look closely, the next 4 characters all have the same component, P, monarch. Above the earth radical, it's B as in Changbi, wall. And with the long step radical, it's B as in Bimian, or avoid. The meat radical below the P component tends to mean arm. In simplified Chinese, the meat radical would be yue, or the month radical for indexing. Just like in English, extending one's arm or hand expresses help. 以臂之力, to provide assistance. Lastly, the component for jade underneath the P or monarch is a round flat piece of jade with a hole in its center, according to the Far East 3000 Chinese Character Dictionary. It shows up as expressions of beauty or perfection. What I keep referring to as the monarch component can also be law or rule. I guess that means the king is the law. It has meanings of opening up or develop, but conversely, it can mean to ward off or keep away. So a little bit confusing. Perhaps even more confusing are the radicals of which it's composed of. Professors of Chinese literature, hit me up in the comments. The radical for corpse and a mouth next to xin, which means bitter or toilsome. So bite the bullet, write it, and move on. Bian, 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 bian was a little bit more popular of a video because it featured how to say poo-poo in Mandarin. That's the character right in the middle on the windshield of that lovely automobile. See if you recognize any other of these characters. Pause here to see if your recognition is faster than that car. I'll regroup these according to common components. The first one is bian, which means flat. If you add the silk radical, it becomes first tone. To weave, arrange, or edit. And then adding the long step radical, it changes the tone to a fourth tone, and that means all around. It means everywhere. The fourth one in from the left is the poop character. Curiously, it also means convenient and finds its way into the term for lunchbox. Yes, that's fourth tone bian. If you add the leather or hide radical, it goes back to first tone, bian, and becomes a whip. So the bian part is just a sound form. Next to that, the sixth one is bian, which means side or edge, and I described it as an ant chasing a man who is being tripped by another man. Third tone, bian, means to demote, reduce, or devalue. Notice the shell or money radical to the left. The next three characters are flanked by sheen or suffering components, but none of them really imply any suffering. That second one is bian, fourth tone. I always describe the middle part as a kid going down a steep sliding board. It means to differentiate. With the silk radical in the middle, it becomes a braid of hair. The talking radical in the middle, it's argue or debate, as in 辩论. The character on your far right is fourth tone bian also. It has the silk radicals on either side of a talking radical on top of radical number 66. Pu, which means to rap or to tap. 变成 is become, and 变化 is the noun for change. 我的车子可以变成 Lamborghini 吗? Biao, Bie, and Bean were lumped together as one video because the 3,000 list of common characters by the Ministry of Education didn't have a lot for those sound forms. Good for you. Do you know any of them? A wood radical with a piao component becomes biao. The original meaning was a treetop, but now it means a mark, label, or sign. In my video, I had described this as a cliff-top house, the piao portion of the character. The next one is biao, third tone, surface. Note the clothing radical. And then if you put gold in front of it, you get wristwatch, biao. The fourth character is second tone bie. There's a mouth over dao or knife, and to the side also knife. But that's a different inverted form of dao, knife. Can you spot the difference between these two characters? The one on the right is actually simplified and uses li under the ko or mouth radical. Li is the power radical. Bie can mean other, for example, 别人, other people. It also is often used as don't. That's bean used in my state name of Pennsylvania. It means guest. To describe it, there was a head, shoulders, a T on a t-shirt, a dagger, a longer sword, a dress, and 2 legs. If you add the water radical to the side, it means close to water. The tree radical gives us the character for binlang. That would be betel nut. The character is also used for the word for champagne. We've just done about 140 characters right there, and more if you count the standalone radicals. We still have bing, bo, and bu in various tones, but we're going to have to wait for a part 2. It's getting a little long. Congratulations if you stuck with it till the end. See you next week. Runner's Garden signing off.